I'd like to share some quick information about clearing your history in Microsoft Edge. Your history is a log of the websites that you visited. It can be really helpful if you're trying to remember a page that you saw a few days ago, but it can also be a privacy concern. First, let's look at my history. To do that, we'll go to the main menu. I'll click this button with 3 dots up near the top right. That opens up this menu, and I want to go to History. So we can see my history here, and this can be really useful. I can quickly go back to any page that I've visited recently. Just find it on this list, click on it, and it loads that page. But let's think about privacy. What if you go to a web page and you don't want anybody else to know that you visited it? What if you work for a law firm and the web pages you visit are part of private client records? What if you're using a public workstation? There are lots of situations where you don't want to keep a record of your browsing history. You can use your imagination. In that case, you probably want to clear your history. And you've got a few options for that. First, you could remove one individual listing. Just point at it here on the list. You'll see an X will appear. You can click on that X and it removes that item from your history. Or if you want to remove all pages from a specific site, you can do that. I visited 3 pages at the Wikipedia site. If I right click on one of them, I can choose delete all visits to Wikipedia, and all of those pages are gone. Or you might just want to wipe out all of your history at once. You can do that by clicking this clear history button up at the top. You might want to look through these options and make sure you're deleting what you want to delete. But once you've enabled the options you want, you can click clear and it will clear your entire history. So if I click out of this panel, go back to the menu, back to history, we can see that is now completely empty. Now finally, what if you need to do some work in Edge and you know you don't want any of that activity to be saved in your history to begin with? Well, that's where you can use the In Private feature. We'll go back to the main menu and I'm going to choose this option to open a new In Private window. So now I have a separate window. It's hard to see because it's maximized. So let's restore these 2 windows. So you can see I have the original window and the In Private window that I just created, and I can tell it has that label up in the top left corner. I know it's an In Private window. If I work in this window, nothing will be saved to my history. This is great if you're using a public computer or a computer that you share with somebody else, or any other situation where you don't want your web browsing history to be recorded.